the boundaries that I had set. So, with him, I told him, just kind of do this, work this path. And, if she comes at you with this and that, then, hey, these are the boundaries that you've set. They're your boundaries. If you don't want to tell her you're taking X to get off B, then just set the boundary. And if she comes, just say, I would like to keep that private, and I appreciate everything you've done, and just arm yourself and be prepared. But don't worry about it so much that you make yourself sick, because she might just not even ask. Don't overthink it. Don't go down 2, 3, 4 streets over when you're not even going that direction. Just keep it close, but don't overthink it. And another guy was telling me about his father, and kind of the same thing. Like, he felt like, oh, well, every time I went to treatment, he would take my son, and he would watch my kid. And, I feel like I owe it to him, to do this and this and this and this. And nah, you don't. You owe him a big thank you. You owe him a thank you for being there, Father. Like, this is exactly what I needed to get my life turned around. And I'm going to live this life of recovery to the fullest, and it's because of you, and because that you did that for me, and I appreciate it, and I'll never forget it. Express your sincere emotions to him, and be really open with them. Be sincere, I guess, and I think if you do that, they'll accept it a lot more, and you can move that step forward in your life without codependency, without, feeling guilty about, well, I don't have to tell them everything, do I? You don't have to. There's some stuff that you do need to keep inside, and, there are parents that do love us, but they want us to be, at the end of the day, they want us to be better. They don't want to see us die. Not like a drug death, not like this. This is not how a parent wants to see their child go out. So just kind of keep that in mind. And the other guy came up, and he was telling me about, the issues that he's having with his mother. And here's a piece of advice about this. And I only give it because it happened to me. I was running around. I had this 2010 Chrysler 300, and I was really, really proud of the material things that I had at one point in my life. Not that I'm not proud now. I have a nice office, a nice studio. I'm proud of that. That's pretty kick-ass. But this car, man, it was that, and the house, and, man, this car. And as long as I'm driving the car, people see me in public. And I don't know if I ever thought that. I guess I did. I like nice car. But, it wasn't like it was a Bentley or anything. But it was nice, though, and I liked it. And, man, I did everything I could to keep that car. And I was working at a job in Holland, and I stopped by United Federal Credit Union to cash my check and said, all right, take the payment out. And the lady handed me back my change, said, have a nice day. Well, a month later, maybe a couple weeks later, it was a couple weeks later, it wasn't a month later, it was a couple weeks later, my mom called and said, hey, there's a repo truck looking for your car. For what? So I called United Federal Credit Union, and they said, yeah, well, it's going to be, your car payment plus extra $1,500 now because, we had to stick the tow truck on you. And on principle, I refused to pay that. I said, no, it was your mess up. I told her to take it out. I don't, it's your teller. And they're like, well, you need to call that bank. And I'm like, it's your effing bank. You call them. You figure it out. I'm not paying you. So that kind of customer service and my stupid thinking was like, fine, come get your car. And I remember I called them on the weekend of Labor Day. And no, maybe it was Memorial Day. It was Memorial Day. And I was like, hey, come get your car. And they're like, yeah, well, the weekend's here. And I'm like, well, it's sitting in the front yard. No insurance on it. So it's up to you. Someone come steal it because the keys are in it. And phew, they came and got it. But that was the most freeing feeling that I had felt up until that point. Like, it was like, I don't have a car anymore, but I'm not worrying about someone's going to come repo my car or banks calling me 20 times a day. When they would call me, I would tell them, look, I'm not paying you. That was one that I looked forward to answering because I could argue with them. But I would tell them that, no, I'm not going to pay you. And I just, let me talk to somebody because you guys need to make this right. I went into your branch because it was like 10 cents or 20 cents short the payment was. And I was like, no, like you can look and see how much change was given back to me on that transaction. Like she didn't hit the right number. Not my fault. But at the end of the day, it was supposed to happen that way. And I'm so glad it did, because it was bound to happen. I only kept that job maybe, I don't even know how much longer. I think I had already screwed that job up at that point, to tell you the truth. And by screw that job up, I meant like went on a bender and just stopped going to work. So, you know, it's those little moments at the time that if you look at it in a different way, you know, it's how you frame it. And this guy was telling me about, you know, this deal he had with his parents about how they signed a loan for him or something, and they just want it paid off now immediately. And he was telling me what he owed, and the car, in my opinion, is not even worth it. I'm like, bro, I was like, you can buy a nice car for a couple grand. And he's like, no, I can't. Yeah, you can. Like, it depends where you're looking, but yeah, and a car is a car, man. You need it to start, and you need to get from point A to point B. You know, you're not trying to drive in a parade, are you? You know, all your high school friends, are they just lined up in this parade route, and you're just going to drive by and wave at them, and your nice little Toyota? You know, come on, man. Like, there are bigger things in life than what you have. And when you realize that, you know, in material things, when you realize that, it's just a huge, like, and I was trying to explain it to him, like, don't you want to be free from that? You know, sell the car, you know, let your parents pay off the loan or whatever. And they were obviously worried about it. And, you know, he's like, oh, they took my money, they did this. Okay, well, they maybe probably shouldn't have access to your money then. Or, you know, I don't know what agreements he really has. Not sure, but, you know, it just reminded me of a time where I was wanting to keep that car so bad. I was willing to do anything. And that was pretty stupid. You know, it was really, really stupid. I gave the bank more money than I really should have. And, you know, to look at your car and go, man, I'm going to work my ass off and I'm going to keep this thing for what? You know, like I said, there's nice cars you can get right now. And yeah, they'll be driven. That's what he tried telling me too, is, well, it was driven by an old lady. Okay. I mean, what, do you like the smell of it or something? But, ladies, but, I'm just saying, you know, when you come to those situations, and maybe I helped you today, maybe I've just been rambling. Normally I do the podcast at night. I'm kind of coming down from the day, like decompressing. But today I didn't want to be falling asleep again like it seemed like I was last week and the week before. So hopefully it wasn't too much rambling today. It's going to be a short one because I do have to go to my, I guess, job is what you call it. They pay me to show up and stuff. So I'm going to go do that because I am sober. And Mother's Day is tomorrow. I'm looking forward to hanging out with my family downstate, you know, see my sister, my mother, and hopefully your mother is still around and you can be grateful to God if she is. If not, you know, just memories. You know, that's another thing I learned in life is, you know, make as many memories as you can with the people in your life that you love. Like tomorrow, I'm definitely making memories. My nephews, my sister, my brother, my niece, sister-in-law, brother-in-law. We're gonna do some fun stuff, and we're gonna make some memories. And you know, those I'll hold on to as long as I can. You know, unless something bad happens when I'm old. But yeah, memories are very important. So have a good Mother's Day. Have a good Saturday night. Be safe. Share this with your friends if you think it'll help them. And I appreciate you listening. 217 Recovery Podcast. Listen to all the podcasts, every single one, 166 hours worth. Yeah, if you have a long drive, a really long drive, 217recovery.com. You can get us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Deezer, Podcast Addict, CastBox. I'm forgetting a big one. iHeartRadio. Listen to them. Whatever works for you, man. Also listen at our site, 217recovery.com, which, by the way, I did add those 2 songs from Gabe. One of them's called Maybe I, and I don't really know what they're called. I think he just kind of did them here. It was like one take. So if you're like, man, that dude's awful or whatever, this is just a dude sitting across from me did it one take. both songs. I think he just wrote the one song. So I don't even think he wrote it down, actually. But he's a good musician. It's a very unique voice. But look under the Fun tab at 217recovery.com. Listen to Gabe. One of his songs called The Virus. Again, I don't even know what the name. I just named them. So that's what they're called now, The Virus. And the other one's called Maybe I. And enjoy those. Tell me what you think. Talk to you again tomorrow. Have a great night. See ya.